Hey everybody, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an accountant. I am not a attorney. I am not a doctor because otherwise I would have given myself some antibiotics for my ear infection. So excuse my voice, but do your own due diligence. Do not make any trades or anything based off of this video or anything I say or do ever. You are responsible for your own due diligence, and that matters so much. This is my due diligence. There was somebody on Twitter who posted that the JCPenney cash tag that they made, like a very small percentage and then moved on and then had another trade and they made 10 cents on it. And while that seems very low for a trade, somebody messaged me and was like, hey, you really think you can make money, with only 5 or 10%? And I was like, absolutely, I do it every day. So, person questioned if, hey, like 2,500 bucks, what could be done, what could be made. So this is the graph of that. And what this does is this takes a look at if you had 2,500 bucks here and you made 5%, you would have $125 profit and you would have $2,600 total. 2,500 bucks, 7.5%, make 187.50 and you'd have 2687.50. 2,500 bucks, 10%, 250 bucks, 27.50. And then it takes and it compounds it. So in theory, this is without any losses, which you're always going to have losses, right? So this is without losses. And this is turnovers of the money, not the trades, turnovers of the funds. So if you turned over that entire 26.25 and made 5% more on it, you would have the 27.56. So you might involve that across 3 trades, 1 trade, 5 trades. It all depends whatever you do it on. But nonetheless, you start getting into the numbers here and you turn over your funds, several times. And if you rule base it, watch for patterns and stuff like that, you can see here you're like 28 grand just with 5%. You're nearly 300 grand with 10%. So as this goes on, this is just like the, I give you $1 million or I give you a penny and double it every day for 31 days. Which ends up over 10 million. So, that's kind of the methodology behind how I trade. Going into what I used to trade, I've spent a ton of time pre qualifying my stocks. Then they go through connected to an RPA, robotic process automation, that has certain rules. If they get met, is like next step, and really kind of looks across the web and across numbers and stuff for certain things. I don't want to get into detail, but I'm really critical about what comes across my screeners. This is my screener. This is Trade Ideas Pro TI, and with TI, it's the same thing. It's a screener, and then you set rules for your screener, right? So has to meet this rule and then it displays here, right? So that's kind of what I've done. There's 3 algos here. First one are low floats that I think are going to move within the next hour to 1 week. And that is appearing here. And then I have ones that I expect to bounce in 1 to 5 days. And then I have my day trades here. On a business, so I try to do stuff in the morning mostly. But that's basically what this is. So when I look here at these are just low floats that people tend to have like a pattern, and that is day traders like them. They like to spike them, run them through the roof, So that's kind of what's here on this one. And that's just what that is here. These are ones that are expected to move in 1 to 5 days. And again, if I'm only going for 5 to 10%, it's not bad. So you can see where the little arrow is. That's when it first alerted me, and that was at 9:31 at 40 cents. It shot up to 43. Well, 2 cents would have met the profit rule. So for 5%, so that would have been there. I'm not gonna say which ones I traded or didn't trade throughout the day on these, but these all meet my rules. So put it that way. Here you can see this was first alerted at 403, shot up to 423. 5% of $4 is 20 cents, so it's right on par. Looking at my day trades, this one here in the morning alerted XELA, and it first alerted at 46 cents. Let's just call it 47 for sake of math. But that one shot up, to 55, and the first one is sold. First one that before it seeded down and retraced and then ran again was 54. So there's your 10% rule. I mean, as you go into here, these do not miss. Like these do not miss on. I mean, even here it looks bad. When you examine it, 109 is when it told me to get there, and it went up to 135 within the hour. I'm sorry, within 25 minutes. So, that's a good thing. And then here you can see further runs. Got in at 15.59, or alerted at 15.59, up to nearly 18 bucks. And sometimes you'll see them repeat here just because I haven't set the count on, removed the count rather. But even something like this looks like, oh man, I took a dip. But did it really? I mean, when you look at it and you see that it's at 35, and then that ran up to 40. You're now seeing that's if you don't wait to buy the dip, you're now seeing that even if it came across and displayed on my screener and it went to 40, it meets the 10% rule. And a little bit of beyond that, but yeah, I mean, what I've discovered, or what I try to do is minimize my losses. I don't care how many times it wins. I don't care if something goes Kodak crazy, right? And I only make 5% on it. I don't care. I made 5%. I'm happy. If you try to chase, for me, if I try to chase every time a Vegas play, like my JCPenney play, I only use money that would use at a Vegas table. If I tried to do that all the time, I'd be broke. I think anybody would. Basing everything I do off of rules and data, and minimizing my losses the way that these things do, I can really screw up 95% of the time, and I'm still coming out ahead almost all the time, because 90% of what I do is based on data, 10% gut. So that's kind of that's kind of where I go with it. Again here, first alerted at 1224, drop some, but back up here to 1258. And again, sometimes you got to look at charts. I do a lot of things, and I like to buy on dips if I feel it's going to dip. But I mean, just even coming across at the dollar mark here, 518, and that was up to 549. So I mean, yeah, and again, of course, obviously your bid and ask spread, but this is how I trade. This works. This works well for me. 31 cents, almost 32. Again, you could have got it for as little as 29, and you could have sold it for as high as 35. Obviously, that meets your 10%, my 10% rule. But yeah, I mean, I really just minimize the risk. Here's another one, 76 and 83. So that's how I trade, and that's how I know that you're okay with doing small profits. You can be okay. It doesn't have to be this huge home run every time. This is what builds wealth. This is what builds portfolios. Consistency, rule, and discipline, not emotional trading. So this is what I try to do most of the time. But I do love me a good Vegas play, like a JCPenney run or something like that. Don't get me wrong. But I really rarely do those. This is my main thing. But okay, I just wanted to explain it to everybody and to say, let's not see somebody and make fun of them or poke fun of them if they're only making a few percent. Everybody has their own way, and they do what works for them. And find your own way. Do your own due diligence. See what works for you. See what doesn't work for you, and go from there. And take a look at the bad days. You can make good money on the bad days. Wednesdays this summer shows that there's a dip. So knowing that going into it, I'll do a VIX play, and I will also do some buy-ins here for ones that I feel I can take yesterday, for example, go back there, look at some of them, and see, hey, has it run? Has it receded? Obviously, this one ran. But what plays are still there that I think what charts still look good. And I have a lot of different algos, but these are my main ones that I use, and go from there. So, if you can kind of start looking for those things, you can see and kind of tell when a bad day is coming up, how to react to a bad day, what to do during a bear market, how to prepare for that, how to run it during a bull market. It just takes time. It just takes, don't be emotional. Learn from everything you do is my suggestion, even though this is not financial advice. Just learn from everything you do. Take a look at the things that happened, and then uh, how to utilize them to your advantage next time. And that's kind of what I would suggest. But again, not financial advice, not an accountant, not an attorney, not a uh, um, accountant, attorney, a financial advisor, none of that. This is for entertainment purposes only. I wish everybody well, and let's all be kind to each other and help each other. Okay.